But let's take a close look what we can do with it. At the top we're going to get ourselves the fingerprint. At the front we're going to get ourselves the CMOS clear button, USB, on and off switch, even type C. The unfortunate thing is they only having one single USB port at the front. So I'm going to need to use an USB hub. Of course we have enough connections at the back, 4 of them, 2 normal 2.0 and 2 3.0. Then having of course the DC in, HDMI out and then digital port out and 2 LAN functions RJ45. So we have different options, even a headphone jack. But the thing is, we have all kinds of different ways, and if you want to get in a BIOS, they put a very big label at the bottom. That's convenient. So overall, I already mentioned this is the AMD Ryzen 7000 series. It comes with the 7 and not the 9. The processor we're getting is the 7804. Wanted to check out is Cyberpunk, a very demanding game. Now I've noticed it has been optimized quite well, and on a mini PC it's even a freaking miracle that we can get it running for 60 FPS. I did need to lower every single graphics to low, so that is something you need to take consideration, but it still looks pretty damn great on this.
Cybernetic God
Go
comes
to the
people
bar,
with children.
Dirt 5 was absolutely a cool game to try out on this. I needed to force it all the way to 1080p. Just wanted to see what happens if you're going to use 1080p and just check out if you're going to force it to low medium settings. I've been tweaking quite a long time with it, but I've noticed you need to put everything on low to get the best results. Noticing is like we can have like a very cool stable frame rate. I did manage to get a little bit of an, let's say 50-ish if I'm in like medium graphics, so you need to play around with it, but it's actually pretty damn cool. It still looks amazing, and I find it very fascinating to see that the game runs pretty damn nice on this Beelink GTR. Another game I really wanted to try out is God of War. And I must say that when it comes to God of War, we do have the option to use the FSR function just to check it out. How can we able to get at least a very nice graphics and still try to maintain a 60 FPS on here. And I can tell you I was quite surprised to see that. And what I understand of this, that we're having a lower resolution and we're going to be having upscaling with the special AMD technology, and the results can be quite fascinating. Where we can actually play AAA games on a mini PC is just amazing. Of course we have some limitations. For me, I'm just going to mainly play indie games on a Beelink GTR. But also those games can be quite, let's say, surprisingly difficult to run. Of course the game you're seeing here, Hunt Down, is not a very demanding game and can be played on old mini PCs. But mainly when you're looking at most of these games, think about the new generation. Hades is one of those that are surprisingly quite difficult to play on a cheap device. And there we do need a little bit of more power than with your typical indie game.
I can't. Heads up.
So I wanted to try out some older games. Saints Row 4. We're going to put them on full HD, everything ultra. We're going to maximize it out just to see how it is. And to my surprise, it's playable, but you can see when you're looking at the frames per second that it still sometimes struggles a little bit.
So close.
When we're going to look into fighting games, Tekken 7 is one of the games I really like to check out. And you notice that everything has been set to full HD and freaking high. And the game runs pretty damn great.
Fight.
So as making this video, Street Fighter 6 has just been released and it would be a great benchmark. So let's check it out. And I've noticed when playing this game, we did get not a great frames per second, particularly when you're going to play it on full HD and every setting to low. But everything on low on 720p resolution, there we did have a big performance boost.
Let us begin. Let me have some fun. Round one. Fight.
Quickly, I just want to discuss the emulation part. With a device like this, we don't have any, let's say, big limitations we had with cheaper devices. Loading times with Castlevania on PlayStation 3 were very significant faster than my cheap mini PCs I've reviewed. So there was such a big improvement when it comes to the overall performance, when it comes to emulation. Here a quick overview of a couple of games. Think about PlayStation 2, PlayStation Portable, but also PlayStation 3.
I must return fire! Kill him! Move away! He's lying!
When you're looking at the Beelink, one of the things I find really appealing is just the way how it actually built. Swapping parts is going to be easy peasy lemon squeezy. First of all, you need to remove the 4 screws and you can just pull out this metal piece. Remove 3 Parkers for removing the plastic plate that holds the cooling element for the NVMe's and this tiny fan. Be very gentle, but that's it. That's the only thing that we're going to find in the inside. The way everything is constructed, including the cooling for the NVMe's, is absolutely great. Everything is in place for the second one that I want to implement later on. A dual channel memory, so if you need to swap it out, you can just do that fairly easy. And the same goes for the storage capacity. If the mainboard battery dies off, you can fairly easy swap it out, and it also includes for the Wi-Fi unit. Everything has been, let's say, assembled in a certain way that we can do maintenance fairly easy. That I've seen before, that was quite difficult with some of the mini PCs.